Dan Campbell on quarterback Jared Goff. Amid some talk that maybe the Lions would be a team that should consider upgrading to Lamar Jackson. Here's what Campbell had to say at the league meetings. Goff, love Goff. Goff's our guy, man. I think he's proven over the last 2 years that, man, he's made for us. He's had to endure a lot, just like all of us have. I thought he played his best football last year, and I think he's going to come out and play some of his best this year, too. Feel good about it, so I love our quarterback position right now. Right now is the key because Campbell also was asked about possibly drafting a quarterback this year. Here's what he had to say.
This year, as with most, you're always looking to upgrade, and the free agency has given us the ability in areas to, man, we can do whatever we need to do in the draft. We feel pretty good about that. We don't feel forced to do anything. You got to take this, and so with that, I would say, man, it doesn't matter what the position is. If we can upgrade our team top to bottom, we will do that.
All right, I got some observations from that clip. First of all, can we get a still frame of that? Dan Campbell is guy who showed up at fancy restaurant that requires the men to wear a jacket.
Right, and he's like, "Do I got a jacket?"
He didn't have a jacket.
Right.
and they happen to have a 58 long in the back that they put on him. That's observation number one. Observation number two, that's Shireen Williams there.
Yes.
Old school, taking notes. And one of the reasons she's right there next to Dan Campbell is she went to Texas A&M and he went to Texas A&M.
That's right. Oh, those damn Aggies. Gosh, giggle Aggies. That's what they are. They're two peas in a pod, I'm sure. Also, what's funny is he's sitting down, and he's almost as big as Shireen sitting down, which just tells you how big the damn guy is. I mean, he's a big sucker. And you're right. I thought the same thing. It's like, I feel like it's a coat that he had in his playing days, too. And he's like, well, it still fits kind of. I'll just throw it on here and, make it work. But he said a lot of good things there, right, Mike? I mean, he did. There's a part of me, of course, that I believe they want to stay with Jared Goff. Brad Holmes, he made that aggressive move coming over from the Rams, acquiring him. So I think they want to make it work. I do think Detroit's one of those teams, Mike, that we talk about that's like, it's not all about the quarterback. They want to be like, hey, let's build a team here a little bit, right? So that's where I think the Lamar Jackson thing is no way, just because the trading, the money, they can't fill in all the holes they want if they want to do that with Lamar Jackson. And then I think the other thing, Jared Goff, hey, Jared Goff's been tough, gritty. They had the number 4 offense in football, so they're going, why do we want to change much this year? We kind of got something going here, But am I sitting here saying I'm sold on Jared Goff for the future to hold down this spot as the starting quarterback for the Lions for the next 5 or 6 years? No, I'm not. There's still things about his game that I just think I'm not sure it's going to get them over the hump in big moments. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion there. I hope he proves me wrong. But, yeah, I do wonder what they'll do if there's a quarterback they fancy on the board there in the top 10 that just happens to be sitting there. Or with their other pick later in the first round. That's one team I'll be very interested to see what they do.
Peter King has advocated for years now the existence of a middle class of starting quarterbacks, guys who aren't making rookie wage scale slotted deals. And look, for 3 years you have to if you're a quarterback who was drafted. And then guys not at the very top of the market, $45 million or more. Jared Goff right now on the back end of a contract that averaged $33.5 million, but was front loaded.
Right.
He's got 2 years left. Payment this year of $25.9 million.
It's awesome.
Payment next year of $26.6 million. And he almost was good enough last year that I thought, is he going to want to go ahead and do an extension? Maybe if he has another big year, he's going to say to the Lions, we'd like to, sit down and talk about this. Yeah. And maybe the Lions say, we're content to let it play out. We'll see what happens after this year. And it all comes down to whether they draft someone this year or next year. But, hey, he's good enough to pay $26.6 to.
That's right.
He's good enough to pay that mid-level money to.
Exactly right.
But he's not the guy that's going to be a top 5 or a top 10 quarterback, and that may not be the guy they want ever, given what they're trying to do in Detroit.
No, you're right. They might not. I think they could be a team they're going to run the ball. They're going to be balanced on offense. They're never just going to make it about the quarterback that way. They're trying to get their defense situated the right way here. That's the cool thing about the Lions. Dan Campbell said it the right way. They did some good things in free agency. We know they had some strengths of their team already. Now they got 2 picks in the top 20. They got a chance here to really change their team around and be a player. Now, whether there's a quarterback involved in that, yeah, I don't know. If they're sitting there at 18 and one of Will Levis or Hendon Hooker are sitting there, will they do it? That'll be interesting to me. I think it's going to be according to where they got those guys ranked in their draft order and all that, but I will be interested to see if they make that kind of move. They should be content with Goff, to a degree right now. He's done some good things, like we said, but yes, I think you said it right. He's middle class, $25 million a year, bam, that's great. The difference-making contract that's like puts him in the upper stratosphere. No, then people are going to be like, "What the hell are you doing there in Detroit?" I'm going to be very fascinated to see what they do in this first round. The Lions.
Something that occurred to me while you were explaining your point.
Yeah,
there are, I would say right now in the NFL, and I'll give you a chance to add to this list. I would submit to you, there are 6 true franchise quarterbacks. Of the 32 teams, there are 6. Patrick Mahomes, duh. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, and Trevor Lawrence. Not necessarily in that order, but those are the 6. And then there's everybody else. Is there anyone you'd want to add to that to make it 7 or even 8?
Well, no, I think you said them all right. Well, I mean, Lamar to me is a franchise quarterback. You didn't say Lamar, did you?
Franchise quarterback without a franchise.
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking about a guy.
Yeah.
A guy who, by his mere presence, puts you in contention every year.
Rodgers.
And I think Trevor Lawrence
put Rodgers
has invaded that group.
Yeah.
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 Okay, we'll put Rodgers in that group.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and put in Rodgers and Lamar. That's 8. That's 25% of the league.
Right.
Good round number. Well, not a round number, but 25%, 1/4 of the league. 3/4 of the league, no franchise quarterback. My point is this. If you don't have a franchise quarterback, you can either desperately try to go find one and continue to swing and miss and set your team back year after year after year, or you can say, we don't have one, we won't have one. Let's build a team that can win without one.
Right.
Let's
and then
focus
maybe
our
we could
resources
sell to
elsewhere.
our fans that this guy is the franchise quarterback through building the team and doing it the right way.
We win.
Right. Yeah, I hear you.
But just don't hit the franchise quarterbacks too hard, or you give up 15 yards of field position. See, that's where the logic falls apart. We're going to build this team with a tough, strong defense. It's going to get after the quarterback and just grab him.
Yeah, exactly. That's my complaint there.
Just grab
him. Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. So, all right, but yeah, I think you're right about that. Russell Wilson probably would have been in that conversation before last year. We probably would have thrown him in there. Now we got a different view of him. Who else are we missing there?
Matthew Stafford is a guy who has toggled back and forth between franchise and not franchise. Franchise and not franchise. And right now, sorry, Matthew, not franchise. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.